and welcome to Let's Bring Them In. My name is Benjamin Hart. I'm your up-and-coming marketing rock star.
Yo, Saturnalia! This is Evan Klein, the Time Wizard.
And as always, this is Sir Derek, your Knight of Ethics.
This is Let's Bring Them In, a comedy marketing podcast where we rebrand the brands that don't need rebranding. We already teased you guys last episode, so if you heard what we are rebranding last time, we, for once, did not lie to you. Derek, what are we rebranding?
The ubiquitous idea, the concept of liquor stores.
I think we've got some specific ones in Evan's neighborhood that we're going to take a look at. For Evan, like the sanctity of Evan, who has moved and no longer works at this liquor store, can we take a look at reviews of the liquor store you used to work at?
Yes, we will be polite. I still liked working there. I hated working, believe it or not. I think I read it off a tweet in the tweet corner prior, but I hate work. I wish I could just get paid and come. That's all I want in life. But
as I was compiling,
sometimes you have to do more.
As I was compiling the reviews, I realized I don't know what store Evan worked at. So I was just like, I think it was this one. I guess we'll find out.
So the thing is, one of the best parts about working at a liquor store is when you're not busy, you're really not busy, and you can either look busy and start cleaning something or put things away, or even better, you can get on your phone and enjoy the world of the internet, which is obviously the right choice.
Nice.
And one of the things that me and my coworkers loved doing was going to like different stores or different breweries and looking up reviews and seeing what people would say. That was a real treat.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. Anyways, as the fellows were saying, yes, I did move. I now live in the upper Lebanon Valley, up in the newest Slamshire.
Hey, freedom or die, baby.
Live free or die, that's right.
Live free or die. That's it.
Yep. So currently, I've got an air mattress set up. I've got 2 liter of milk. I've got cereal.
They come in liters?
I mean, there's a little bit more. It's technically a gallon, so it's like, 3 1/4, but I've drank a little bit. And then I have a couch, my TV, and my Wi-Fi set up, and everything else is just on the ground, labeled, but not put in order. So
I'm glad that you've prioritized getting the equipment ready to set up for your chats with the boys.
Yeah, that's true.
To live life as an optimal gamer, it has to be very feng shui, and my feng shui is not having distractions such as toiletries, decorations, chairs, furniture other than a couch and something to sit on that's not the ground. Putting clothes on hangers, that's for squares. A bed frame, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Air mattress, because you breathe air. It's like a water mattress, technically.
It brings you closer to the earth.
It's true.
Exactly.
Elements,
more
right?
tuned with the elements, yeah, like Aang.
Did you bring your girlfriend? Is she still there?
Oh, shit. I forgot left her in the U-Haul. Just kidding. Miss Galini is also here with me.
Okay,
she did
good.
a great job unpacking and unloading.
Good shit.
Yeah.
She's already redecorated, and it's definitely worlds better, and it makes me angry.
Isn't it amazing the first time you live with a woman, how beautiful your apartment gets?
Yeah, seriously, damn.
Yeah. So we have a 6x6 foot like bookcase from IKEA, and we'd put it in a different room than the TV and the couch and the TV stand. When we moved it in, then we built it, and then it was like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then went to bed and woke up the next day. She's like, I think we should move it. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding. In my head, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That thing is heavy as fuck. I gotta clean all the floors. This sucks. I'm upset. I've already made it in my mind to be upset, and it's not gonna look good. And I did it, and it looks really nice. And like, it's definitely the good move, but like, very upsetting. Very, very upsetting to both be wrong and be happy.
In general, that's been my MO is I can construct, I think, maybe a room. I did a pretty good job putting my office together, but it very much looks like a middle schooler's ideal of a cool office room.
Yeah, like with a big calculator, right, and a big pencil.
Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of thing. But like the rest of the place looks fantastic. It's got rugs and plants. I never would have thought of bringing a plant into my house. That's a foreign entity.
Plants go outside. That's where sun is.
Exactly. Plants go outside. That's where sun is. Like, how am I going to invite another creature into my home? That's just not tenable.
You've got me looking.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's my fern rent?
Yeah, my fern. You've got me looking around my room thinking, oh shit, am I just a big middle schooler in here? Ugh. Let me tell you, boys, it's not looking good.
You've got cool checkerboard soundproofing, so that counts as decoration and functionality.
I do too now. After having seen it so often in Derek's background, you can see checkerboard soundproofing behind me as well.
How much does it cost?
It's not expensive.
Not at all.
Damn it! I really should do that.
It's not expensive. It's kind of cool, and one of my favorite parts of putting soundproofing on my whole room is that if I'm talking to anyone in any other part of my apartment and I continue speaking as I walk into my room, they all of a sudden can't hear me once I'm in my room.
Oh, I just realized that's why when I shout from the office, people can't hear me.
Yeah, because it's actually working.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Put that on the to-do list. Get soundproofing equipment.
As a quick note to anybody who wants to do that, you can find those little squares on Amazon or a local store, or just Google soundproofing squares, and the easiest way to do it I've found is to just put there's little pins you do to hang up posters or picture frames. I would use those little things, those little nails from the hanging kit, not big ones, just those little brass ones, and do a crisscross pattern on each one. That's so much better than using those little poster tacks. Because first off, they're going to rip up your drywall, and then second off, they're probably not going to stick.
Yep. And tape, forget about it. Tape doesn't stick to these things.
Forget about it. All right, so you guys want to know the thing I'm most proud of that we've moved in?
Yeah.
Yes. We have not hung up, and I'm kind of afraid we might not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Needed confirmation from both of you. So,
yes.
Ben, you remember when, I think it was 4 years ago at this point, we went and saw The Room?
Oh, I absolutely do.
And I got a movie poster and got it signed.
Oh, yeah.
By Tommy Wiseau?
By the Tommy Wiseau. Well, when I went home, I got it framed at Michael's, a good frame.
Yeah.
One that had some spacers, and I forgot about it. And then my mom went and picked it up, and it sat in my closet for all 3 years of college. And now it's sitting in my living room, waiting to be hung. And oh my God, his handwriting's so bad. He might have Parkinson's. It is unbelievably bad.
If you look around and all of your posters that you own are hung, you are living on a different level of existence than I currently am, because my closet has several portraits that I have not yet found a place for. I'll say it's that I haven't found a place for them, not that I'm too lazy to hang them.
You're still thinking.
Exactly. I'm contemplating, and I've been contemplating for the last 2 leases.
Sometimes you just don't have a wall that's right for it.
Exactly.
But you don't want to get rid of it.
No. I feel there should be a rule that after a lease where you've not hung something, you need to get rid of it.
That's so funny. I have a painting that my brother made for me his junior or senior year of high school. I was definitely in college at this point. And he made this painting for me, and it's great, but it's huge, and I don't have a frame for it yet, because a frame is going to be so expensive for this enormous thing.
Probably $50 at least.
Yeah, at least, but I love this thing, and I've taken it from when he gifted it to me at home, I brought it to school, and then I brought it back home, and then I moved it back to school, and then I moved it back home, and now I've moved it all the way out to LA, and it's just still sitting in the corner of my room because I don't have a frame or any place to hang it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's just a housewarming gift. It's just, when are you going to get the house?
That's true. That's a good point.
A big thing for me is it's going to be very apparent what Galini can definitely hear this, but she also listens. Respect. It's going to be very apparent what she likes and how she wants to decorate, because the things that she likes, they're going to get put up fast. Yeah. And the things I like, I'm going to have to find some sticky goo to put it on the wall. Might be a while.
In the bathroom.
Might be a while indeed.
This is a good place for this.
I also want to say now is the time to invest in a wall hanging kit, Evan.
I might be. You might be right.
They're $15, and it's everything you need to hang anything.
I mean, I've got a good toolbox. Ultimately, in my landlord, extremely eccentric, we discussed prior. She said I can put holes in any wall. I just have to be cool about it. Look for a stud. Get a stud finder, essentially. So,
well, you don't have to worry about that for most things. The stud finder is primarily for load bearing stuff. So, for instance, I did that for my television because that's a lot of weight.
And also for locating where you are in regards to the rest of the room.
Huge pimp move by Derek.
Thank you. That was so nice.
Very epic. Speaking of being a stud, when I worked at the liquor store, I was the stud of the stable, which was the store. Derek.
That tracks, honestly. I feel like if I employed Evan, he would be my favorite employee.
Yeah, he would be our stud.
Yeah.
Yes, young. I know where I can reach the top shelves. Young. Yes. I could reach the top shelves. Full of rum. We did have plenty of rum. Actually, rum was probably...
It's got to be like the least of the liquors, right?
So the thing is...
Rum and tequila.
The two big ones are vodka. No. Whiskey, so like whiskey, bourbon, scotch, all the same.
All the whiskeys.
And then liqueurs. So like flavored things. Because those, if you're going to put them in one category, because you can't just say like, well, technically Cointreau isn't, like, it's a different flavor than De Kuyper's.
As Midori, yeah.
Yeah. Put them all together. So whiskeys, rye, and liqueurs. Then after that, vodkas.
Yep.
But then after that, you've got a tie between...
gin, tequila, and rum.
Gin, tequila, and rum. This summer, though, so there's always something every summer that's like, didn't see that happening. This summer, tequila blew up.
Well, weird. I mean, I've also been buying tequila way more than I normally do. And that's literally the only reason is for margaritas.
I wonder if COVID has something to do with this.
Honestly, making yourself a margarita feels luxurious. It's like, normally I get them at Mexican restaurants, but making yourself one makes you feel like you're out on the town.
Right, and also as far as cocktails, like, pretty...
Can't get easier. Get easier. As long as you have a blender, it's harder to get an easier drink than a margarita.
True. Yeah. And then beyond that, it is one of the easiest drinks to upgrade. If you want it to taste better, get a better tequila.
Yeah, how do you elevate it? What would you say?
Well, so there's several ways. You can get a better tequila. So like I bet you guys have always done like silver tequila, the Blancos.
Yep.
You can get a Reposado if you want to get nasty with it.
Yeah.
Maybe not an añejo, because that'll taste like you're eating the inside of a barrel, because añejo being aged 2 or more years, Reposado 6 months to 2 years.
I didn't know
So you'll get a little bit of like smoke in there, but it's because it's not going to be quite as straight, like dull, flavorless as a Blanco.
Is it silver? Is it pretty standard what kind of barrels they use for tequilas? Do you know this? I would assume you know.
Just a tequila barrel. I mean,
just a barrel? No kidding.
Yeah, one of the best questions. It's made in Mexico. That's one of so it's from trees from Mexico. But that's one of the best questions is like, hey, do you got any tequilas from Mexico? It's like, I got some news for you. They're all from Mexico because that's what makes it tequila.
It's like asking if you have any American bourbons.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like American anime.
Yeah.
American anime. That's a great point.
I love Avatar. It's my favorite anime.
Avatar is probably my favorite anime. The one with the blue people, that is.
Oh, right.
So this summer there was a tequila made by The Rock. That's always the best when you get someone to cut. Yeah, it's called Taramana. It was pretty good actually. Good price range too. It was like $30 for a fifth.
Nice.
That's the best when people come in asking for something that like a celebrity endorsed.
Yeah.
Like, what's the one? Ciroc or something like that.
Ciroc.
That one has.
Ciroc.
For when I was in college, early days, that was a big one people were willing to shell out for. I was not convinced of the quality for the buck you were paying. Yeah.
P. Diddy owned that one, yeah.
And it's vodka made from grapes, right?
Just like Grey Goose, so might as well pay like the same price for Grey Goose, which wins awards. Whereas Ciroc might not get entered in those awards. All right, so real fast, before we get too hot and heavy in it, do you guys want to start the first half of the episode by asking me questions, or do you want me to just spout the fuck off?
I want to know first and foremost what liquor store you worked at, so if I need to pull some reviews, I can on the fly real fast.
Okay, so I worked at both the Saginaw and Midland Cork and Ales.
Okay, great.
You did work at Cork and Ale. Okay.
Both of them, yeah. Both locations. But different clientele. Very different clientele. I believe it.
The Cork and Ale was nice, though. I really liked going there.
Cork and Ale, I mean, if you're a liquor store in Michigan, you cannot make money unless you pride yourself as like a high upscale liquor store, because liquor is sold at state minimum, meaning you can like at most make 15% on most liquors.
Yeah, I often would just go to
that's
Meyer.
The margin?
That's the normal margin, yeah, 15% on. And so like if you think about it, like Smirnoff is like what? $13.99 or like, let me think of like Jameson's like $24.99.
Yeah.
Those are only 15% markups for what you buy it for.
My biggest issue with liquor stores in general is that you might as well just go to the local grocery and you'll get the same selection or a better selection at the grocery for a lower price.
Yes. So the only way to really make it a liquor store is have that relationship with your distributors so you can get the good stuff that I can't find this anywhere else.
Yeah.
Have a large enough inventory that like you can afford to maybe take a bath on something that people don't want right away and like hold on to it for a while.
Yeah.
While also having people that have the knowledge to sell you what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. I mean, having regulars is always good too. Like,
is there any draw? Yeah, definitely depressing.
It depends. I feel like because I'm a regular at my liquor store and I'm not an alcoholic.
Right.
Yes. Respect.
Yeah.
So it's cool to have a regular that comes in like once a week and says, "Hey man, you got anything new?" Mm-hmm. It's not cool to have a regular that comes in once a day at lunch and says, "I would like 5 50 milliliter shooters."
Yes, that's fair.
That is a bummer.
Two different brands of regular.
Yes, indeed. We had a guy, and I've mentioned it before, a guy that would come in Midland every other Saturday.
Yep.
Get 2 half gallons of Ghibli's
I forgot about that. It's so...
And pay with a check, and he knew the price beforehand. And the only time... So in Michigan,
I could never forget
the price of liquor changes every 4 months. So every now and then he'd get surprised, and he'd have to rewrite a check, and he would be fussy.
I'm sure.
Yes.
That's wild. I still...
something.
That man is a legend in his own right.
Yeah, especially on this cast. We've talked about him on the cast.
Let's talk about the difference between like a liquor store and a liquor store. Because there is the liquor store that looks like inside of a 7-Eleven.
Yep.
And sometimes they can be respectable, but other times they are like tourist trappy or not very good at all in general. But often they specialize. And then there's the liquor store that often has like very cool stuff, or it's themed with a certain way. Maybe it's an Asian liquor store, or maybe it's like the Cork and Ale, where it's just a little bit more fancy. They've got kegs, they've got fun like other stuff.
Yeah,
they maybe have new stuff coming in, and then there's
community
like this
involvement.
Yeah, and then there's like the super stores, which are like Total Wine and More, where we've got like Bevmo and that kind of thing. Yeah,
in Chicago.
Sure,
Bevmo. Yeah.
So we're kind of looking with Cork and Ale that middle ground ish.
Yeah. Something local.
Definitely.
Well, part of it is just not even so that one of the best things, you don't actually have to be clean as a liquor store, like your floors, your walls, your windows. The importance is looking clean.
Yes.
Because there's no expectation for your liquor store to be spotless.
That's true. You don't need squeaky clean floors in a store that sells alcohol only.
Yeah, it's like, I don't trust this place. This place is a fraud. They want my blood. I'm going to be killed.
True.
However, you also don't want to be the guy that just like bought a condemned 7-Eleven and then takes off the 7-Eleven, but doesn't take off like the orange and green.
Yes.
And then just puts up a tapestry that says Evans Liquor.
Yep.
And then out front have a sign that says, "We sell at state minimum."
Yes.
You don't want that. That is not the way to make. That's a good way to get yourself yelled at by your customers, because you're selling a certain liquor at 2 cents above the minimum.
Yeah.
Not a good way to live. And it's an in-between. So also, real fast, right now, we're mainly talking about like Michigan liquor laws, and they change everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like in New Hampshire, also like Pennsylvania and Ohio, I know for sure.
Yeah.
That's just 3 examples. Liquor cannot be sold in like a standard gas station or like a standard like beer place.
Mm-hmm.
Liquor has to be sold separately.
Yeah, when I was in New Hampshire, I went to like an actual liquor store because you couldn't sell it at any of those other places. And the prices were much better in New Hampshire than they were in Michigan at the time. And I was so excited about that. I bought a 5th of Bombay Sapphire gin, and I still have it because I only drink it on rare occasion because I was so impressed with the price. I wanted to get the most bang for my buck.
Very smart.
I would love to jump into a review quick. Sure. And then I want to pick Evan's brain more after.
Great. So before I knew he worked at the Cork and Ale, I was looking at the Cork and Ales, and only positive reviews for these places. They have sterling reputation. So I had to get a little creative, and I found some other places.
I will say, I know for a fact there used to be a really, really mean review of the Cork and Ale in Saginaw. And it's one of the nicest people I worked with. I won't say her name. She was amazing. Incredibly anal, very type A, which is great when you're organizing a store and making it look nice.
Yeah.
However, like any customer that leaves a negative review for a liquor store got pissed at her and was like, that bitch is always so uptight and she's never helpful. And it's like, she must have had a bad day.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She also is the type of person that looks for reviews and will like reply to them and say, hey, I'm sorry to see that. Like, anything we can do? Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
So wait, as an employee, she would do that?
She's like the floor manager.
Okay.
She's like, yeah.
So I'm trying a new thing right now where I read the reviews, I pulled some reviews, and then I highlighted different things to kind of give myself a clue as to what the point of this review is, in my opinion. So this one is about Beverage Warehouse, which is located out here in Los Angeles area, from user Brad C. And this is about price gouging. It's a 1-star review as always. He says, won't be back here as most of their stuff is way overpriced. Henry McKenna used to be $29 before it won
Bourbon
Best Whiskey award, and now it jumped up to $60. I mean, seriously? They had like 3 cases of it. Hibiki Harmony for $80. You can find it at Costco for $65. Save your money and go elsewhere. This place is a ripoff. Evan, thoughts?
I will say, Hibiki Harmony, it's a Japanese whiskey. Those Japanese whiskeys like Suntory, Hibiki, Harmony, there's several other that come from like a similar distillery in Japan. They're super good. And I remember, when I started working, they were like $50, $60. And then like while I was still working there 5 years ago, they shot up to like 90, 100. And they come and they're gone that fast. So I get that, like being $100. And sometimes what'll happen is there might be a minimum for the price. And then the liquor store owner realizes, gets wise and says, they'll pay $100 because that's what everyone else marks it at.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pricing for liquor is a check your shoulder type deal. Like, yeah, all right, yeah, we're going to mark it up because
like
technically
gas prices.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Just like gas, which I mean, liquor is gas for the burly man and woman around you. So you can mark it up as high as you want. But if someone calls you out on it and says this is above minimum in a place like Michigan or New Hampshire, I'm sure, well, maybe not New Hampshire, but in Michigan at least, if they call you out on it being above, like you kind of have to like eat your loss and say, yeah, you're right, actually, and then sell it to them at state minimum.
Wait, do you have to sell at state minimum?
I mean, you don't have to, but it's much better to sell something than not sell it. It's better to sell it at 15% than not sell it because it was at 25%.
Sure.
So in this example, would you say like, okay, obviously, yes, we're raising the price because people are going to pay for it until someone says, hey, I think I can get this for cheaper at Kroger or my local Kroger brand store. And then you're saying that we'd be like, oh, yeah, well, you know, we did raise the price because we're trying to make a buck. We'll sell it to you at that price today only or something like that.
Sometimes the move is you don't change it until you get someone come in and ask.
Yeah.
And then you change it.
Change it for the whole store or just for that specific transaction? Usually
for the whole store because it'll be for like a higher end product. Like not McKenna's. McKenna's, like they mentioned, like once something wins an award, it's in the clear and it can raise the price. And that's when a distiller makes money.
Yeah.
However, for something like something higher end, like a Hibiki, you sell it at the higher price and you make people pay that higher price. And if someone comes in and says, hey, I think I bought it over there for cheaper.
Yeah.
Only then you say, oh, okay, my bad. Like, I didn't realize it was above state minimum.
Oh.
Because then, like, once because you'll also have less of that in stock.
Yeah.
So that's it's not that big of a deal to change like 5 bottles.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like with a local liquor store rather than like a big sort of department store, like a Total Wine or more, or even like a grocery store where they have like all the things that you need.
Total Wine
liquor.
Or more. You never know what you're going to get. It's going to be Total Wine or it might be more.
It could be more.
Step into the office, see what we have.
Well, I'm thinking like is there any cause for the convenience of I'm going to the liquor store, I know they have this thing, I know that I can get it here rather than going out of my way to a bigger store? Like, is that justifiable for raising the price? Is it like a convenience price boost, or is it specifically like, oh, I can get this someplace else, I'll take my business there, change the price?
Yeah. So that's also part of the gauging whether you should change the price. Because if someone's coming in saying, I can get it for a cheaper price, and it's something like Absolute, which, by the way, the price of Absolute vodka has not changed in the past 6 years.
Yeah.
So that would not be something people would choose to make money on. But if they say, hey, I can get this cheaper, and they say that to the clerk, you kind of have to gauge, like, okay, like, should I sell it cheaper to you? Like, are you going to keep buying it? Do you have the power?
Like, is it, or would you get a manager?
I mean, that's not worth getting a manager. Like, if they ask to see the manager and they're a serious customer, then yes. But if they're just coming in like every other week to buy a $20 bottle of vodka, no. You only really change and cater towards high spending customers, which is like, and that's you have that power, especially when it comes to something like wine, where like there is no minimum, because wine is a lot more, it
depends on seasons sometimes. If it's got a good season or if it's not.
Good years, bad years. Yeah. They're called vintages, I guess. But yeah. And I mean, even if one winery has a bad vintage, you can literally just go like down the road, get the wine from someone else. From a different vineyard and call it good. But like there's no minimum for wine. You can kind of just sell it as it sells.
Crazy.
That's why a lot of like liquor stores, especially in Michigan, will try to pride themselves on wine and beer, because there's no minimum. You just sell it for whatever, as long as you're making decent profit. And like as far as like selling, trying to keep prices and like margins slim, it's a tough game where you're playing fast and loose, because if you sell them for too much, you're going to be known as that expensive liquor store that sucks ass.
Right.
If you sell them for too cheap, people are just going to, buy you out, and you're not going to make money.
Right.
So it's like you're trying to save as much money as possible while keeping margins moderately high and build up a good customer base who likes you for who you are.
So I think that we've really gotten into the nitty gritty of how a liquor store builds their own personal brand.
Yes, the nuts and bolts.
The nuts and bolts. Would you say the majority of your profits come when the liquor store's profits come from that, or just the general customer?
So I would say that the majority of profits will come from building up a customer base. It's like, oh yeah, when I think liquor store, I think this place. Exactly. You're not going to get like people just blowing in like, oh, because liquor is the type of thing where you don't know. If you're not from that area, if you're not from that state, you don't know where the good spot is. So good reviews are key if you're like a mom and pop shop. So if you're a Bevmo, not that big of a deal.
Right.
But like if you're a place like Cork and Ale and you get a review where it's like, the clerk is a real dickhead.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I'm never going there again. You're not going to live. Yeah. It doesn't work.
Interesting.
Because like a big key for a small liquor store is community engagement.
Which is not what you would think, especially with a lot of the liquor stores that I've been to.
Yes. It's also, so the thing is, another approach is to buy a bunch of liquor stores, sell everything at minimum so that you have like you keep little stock. You sell at the minimum so that you can just kind of keep selling and making 15% on everything, and you get people coming in high volume.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's another way to do it.
I think we need to percolate on the best way to rebrand, I think, the liquor store model. But in the meantime, let's jump into the tank, which at this point is a Japanese whiskey that's been aged to perfection.
I love it.
6 years. Welcome to the Think Tank. This is part of the show where we percolate, dip our tootsies in, and take a reprieve. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Let's Bring Them In. We're bringing content to you fresh, dry aged perfection. We'll get more tweets. Like we mentioned earlier, I've been moving, so that's taken a good chunk of my time lately. But we still got a video up, so be proud of me. Maybe comment "good job." You don't have to, though. I'll keep doing it.
You should.
It's kind of
good job.
You should comment "good job." I think it encourages Evan.
Yes, thank you. I really only said you don't have to make my two co-stars say that you did have to. And it worked. I'm a genius. Email us at letsbringthemin@gmail.com with suggestions on what to rebrand. Maybe also say good job to us there. Really never a bad time to tell us good job. Leave us a review. Rate us. Rate's got to be 5 stars. The review, anything. Derek will say it. Derek will say it on cast. He would love it. You know what, actually? He would love it if you found an Instagram post that had a weird caption and you made him read it on cast. Like, I don't know. Say you found a caption that was like, what? That's crazy. Copy and paste. It's that simple. You have 2 thumbs, and I know you can do it. Join the Discord if you're nasty. And if you're not, just be a spectator. You don't have to say anything. Just watch. If you've ever seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut, there are people there just watching. It's okay. Mm-hmm. What else? Anyone else got anything?
No, sir.
I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, I don't know. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Send us an email if you got any ideas for how I should decorate my apartment. I will do anything you tell me to. Unfortunately, I did say I was going to get that vinyl of giving the sex talk.
You did.
I didn't get that.
You son of a bitch.
Shame.
Yeah, next thing, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. Yeah. If I like it, I'll do it. I really will do things, ironically, kind of to the point of losing money, which is a dangerous game in grad school, but I'm willing to play it.
So I want.
Welcome back from the think tank, motherfuckers.
You gotta let him say it, Ben. You can't just jump back in. You gotta let him say it.
Maybe this will be the one he edits out.
We'll see. All right. So I want to talk strategery with you guys because I think that's where I excel in this cast.
Always put the flag in the back, Ben.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. It's not like a capture the flag reference.
Oh, shit. That's Stratego. My bad.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. God, that's been a minute since I played that game.
Yeah.
Really? You played it a minute ago? We were just in the think tank.
I was busy on I have like a Stratego app. I was just going crazy. I lost horribly.
Shit. That's a great idea for a Stratego. Actually, I've got a great idea right now for...
I almost don't want to let you say it, but go for it.
Yeah, for an app that you can, for like board games such as Catan, for like competitive Catan.
Sure.
Kind of like a golf handicap, but for Catan.
So what's the app idea?
Cool. Well, the app idea is that like there's tournaments, you're ranking like locally, you put your ranking in, you put how well you played against your friends. Because I know some people take Catan, most people take Catan pretty seriously. And Catan's just one idea for a game. Could be any game.
I think it's actually a good idea. It's not very funny, but it is a good idea.
I commend you for your creativity, but your humor sucks ass.
Basically. I was trying to figure out where the goof was, but no, it's just legit app.
It was a good app.
Yeah. The goof is adults playing Catan competitively.
It's not even like, it's completely real, because I was in a board game group and the guy was like, the guy was playing again said, "Oh, I won't be here next week. I am going to a Catan tournament." And I gave him a look that lasted a long time, and I said, "Okay."
And there's the joke. That guy can laugh or not laugh depending on how he takes it.
Yeah. Wow. So I want to talk about like what is the ideal for a mid-tier to low-tier sized liquor store. We've already dealt with BevMo and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to figure out what we did, that it was a battle of the beverage stores. We've talked about this before. This is about your local. I was going to say haberdashery. It's not a haberdashery. It's your local. What's the word? What's a fancy word for it?
I don't know.
Liquid
store. Dealer.
Okay, your local liquid dealer. I like that. You're on the road to get liquid, and honestly, Evan's right. It's about building a consistent customer base. You'll get the occasional person coming in for a $20 thing of vodka, but the real money you're going to make is on the regulars and the people paying for 5 gallons of alcohol with a check.
I think yes, we can't forget about the top shelf collectors too. They have to exist.
They do, Derek, and they came in often. Those are the people that, yes, they can. Yep, you're right. Guaranteed sales is what we call them.
And I want to talk about this a little bit.
Tell me about it.
Where do they get their news about these top shelf items?
Good question.
Facebook's a good spot.
Okay, and who is the supplier of the news on Facebook?
Yeah, usually Facebook groups.
Okay.
Like in Saginaw, there's one that I think I'm still a part of. It's called Saginaw Tasting Alliance. Let me pull it up.
Very cool. The STA.
I was gonna say something like they should have called themselves the institution.
Yeah, it's called the Tasting Alliance of Saginaw Ale Enthusiasts. It started off as just a beer group. They haven't posted a lot in a while, but yeah, it's mostly beer. So one big thing is I'd say the two big like collecting thrusts for alcohol is beer and bourbon. And like you got wine obviously, but
here's my pitch to you guys.
Sure.
I'm ready.
I feel like there is a way to track down the source of hype and manufacture it for an extraordinarily cheap but good tasting brand. So like, why can't we create like a good tasting brand of whatever whiskey? Maybe we can just pour two relatively like cheap but good whiskeys together in a barrel.
Sure.
And then repackage it and sell it as like a massive, like $1,000 a bottle, like this kind of rare event where we only get one or two per year.
You're trying to make our buck on one really big sale.
But I feel like there's
just like that guy from The Office.
Would I rather get like 100 customers coming in to buy $20 of vodka in a day, or would I rather get one guy coming in to drop $2,000 on my vodka or my whiskey?
Listen, am I a people person or am I a talking bills person? I'm talking money. I'm talking Skrilla, cash, the green stuff. I'm not trying to talk to you about your feelings, about how things have been going. Gross. I want one quick in and out transaction. I'm set for the year. Bye.
I am talking about the whiskey whales. We need to find them and build up the like hype around a specific kind of whiskey.
That's what they call it, Ben.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of my news on alcohol from Reddit. I follow r/whiskey and r/gin, and people are posting all the time about stuff on there. Do you think that we could flood Reddit or Facebook?
Here's what it needs to happen.
Yeah.
It needs to be foreign. It needs to be foreign, and it needs to start kind of low priced. Not super low priced, but needs to start kind of low priced. After that moment, all stock is gone. Get a few people saying, holy shit, this is incredible. I managed to find a guy who bought a dozen bottles. Would anybody want one? I'm marking it up to about $200 just because we don't have very many. I want to know you're serious.
Sure.
Now, they buy those bottles and remark it up to like $500, $600.
Oh, God damn it, Ben. You say that like a joke, but like that happens often.
Yeah.
So recently.
I'm really not joking. This is serious.
You guys know 1942, Don Julio.
Yeah, dude, we sell it at the restaurant I work at.
It's tequila. Yeah. Good tequila.
It's $32 a pour.
It's like $120 bottle of tequila. So we got like a full case of it at Corkinale. Guy came in, asks, do you have any 1942? Yeah. How many? Let me look in the computer. We got about a full case is 12. We have about 20 right now. Okay, I'll buy them all. Are you serious? Yes. Okay, we get all 20 bottles up. He pays in fucking cash.
No way.
He paid in cash for 20 bottles of tequila. The best part, he comes in 2 days later. He got any more? No, not 2 days. A week later, you got any more 1942? Yeah, we got 3 more bottles. Okay, I'll buy those. Buys them. Comes in a week later. You got any more 1942? No, man. You bought all of it. He's like, oh, okay. Just wondering. Guarantee the guy's not drinking it.
No way. Of course not.
And someone told me, it's like, you know what? That guy either A, owns a bar, or B, he's just selling it for like $100 more because tequila is so short right now. Because also, like I mentioned earlier, tequila, all from Mexico. The U.S. does not have good trade relations right now with Mexico. It's kind of hard to get tequila.
We're talking, this is like a big short for whiskey or tequila, but we're going to call this the big pour.
The big pour.
Very smart. And there's the episode.
So the idea here is we're going to like sort of speculate what country is going to like in this pandemic not have a lot of good like import and export from America. the easy choices are things that like already have a reputation for good liquor, but also maybe are closing borders.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Hit me.
Vietnam.
You think?
Ooh.
What's their signature liquor that we get from them?
How can I be so fucking stupid?
You got a lot of thoughts going on. You're our expert on liquor stores. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Corn. Corn makes whiskey.
Yes. Facts.
China. There's no area in China to make corn, right?
Yeah.
So China has bought out land in Africa to plant corn.
A lot of space in Africa.
Take Africa, then turn some of that corn into whiskey. But they can't turn that much of it into whiskey because they need to give so much corn to China.
Mm-hmm.
We already have our limited supply.
Boom.
We start distilling some whiskey in Africa.
Yes. And the cool thing
Move
about
it from Africa
whiskey,
to the U.S.
Yeah. Well, you got different kinds of wood there for the barrels. Those are going to impart different flavors. You can infuse it with, I don't know. Has anyone ever made a barrel out of a banana tree? I bet it could do something. I don't know. Barrels are cool.
Hey, Mr. Tallyman.
Tally.
Make me a fucking barrel.
Yeah. Get me some whiskey, please.
So I think you guys have done a good job of creating this product that can be seen as incredibly exclusive in the coming few months to years.
Yeah.
So we get this in, and we need to build up its reputation quickly by sort of having an initial run, like I said, that is like gets bought up and gets a quick reputation online. We can do this through sock puppet accounts. Yep. We could maybe hire a Chinese firm to sort of like blow up these subreddits with like reviews of this.
Good throwaways, yeah.
We need to find a good way to shut down the people who track down this operation. So
I will say, if there's any incredibly like suspicious people, it's people who buy and sell liquor as well as beer. So if we make a post, there's immediately someone's going to say, no, this is bullshit. We got to look it up.
Well, those accounts need to like, obviously they're going to not be the ones selling it. They're going to be the ones who are looking for it.
Yes.
Here's an idea.
ISO.
Some of our sock puppets start that conversation before a real account can jump on and say, something smells a little fishy about it. We redirect them by saying, you know what, you guys, something about this smells fishy. I did some research and here's the facts. And then we have them lead to a bunch of bullshit
the hands
facts.
of the mods.
Yeah. Okay, so basically we could grease the hands of the mods to delete those things. We could also say that, like what Derek's saying, is sort of head off the comments by like creating comments that lead the people to where we want them to go. And they could say, see, this is fishy, but actually this is a valuable liquor, but this is the information you want to know about it.
Yes.
So people think that they got it.
It's a game that you have to play 20 moves ahead because whiskey takes at least 4 years to age.
Right.
Well, that's, I think, the glory of what we're attempting to do here is that the product itself is nothing. Like, we're just going to put like regular old whiskey in a barrel and sell it.
We'll buy Jim Beam.
What you two did is create the origin story for this whiskey.
Ooh,
so people will know the whole African corn to China to here, and that's going to be the limited supply that people are going out of their way to get.
Right. That's how we justify these high prices to increase our crazy margins.
It becomes like a crazy market, and we're going to call these things. When we finally do manage to get shipments into America, we're going to go to specific stores, and they're going to call these, depending on the brand name, it could be just like the Whiskey Bomb or like something like that. It's
got to be something like Afrikaans, like in I don't know. It's got to be something to incorporate the language.
I don't know any Afrikaans, so this is going to be struggling for me.
Afrikaans is South African.
Yeah, South African.
Yeah, so that's not even where they're going to be growing the corn.
There's a lot of African languages.
I know.
That's part of why there's so much unrest.
Do we know where China is like getting land?
We can find out. We'll get the intern on it. Because that'll be, I like the idea of either using something geographically, maybe we relate it to Kilimanjaro or to like a big river or a desert or something, or we relate it specifically to the language of the area.
I do like the idea of Sahara something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Sahara Mist.
Sahara Mist is pretty good. I do like that. So also, I forgot they do a lot of corn in they do about 15.5 metric tons of corn in South Africa. So
we could do it. Could be Afrikaans.
We could.
Why don't we
do that?
Yeah, so we could just call this the apartheid smooth or something like that.
We need a racy title that everyone's going to hate.
The Mandela effect is what we're going to call this.
That's insanely better than whatever you first said.
So we're going to call
District 9 3/4. Get maybe some Harry Potter interest.
I think we're going to go with the Mandela effect. And that's
very brave of you after coming up for it.
Yeah. I have to go hard. Somebody
is there any way that name has backlash and doesn't actually get us the result we want, or is it too good?
People don't remember how good it was. You'll forget how good it was.
Or maybe the Mandela effect is actually the raising of prices, and maybe the drink is something just specific to South Africa.
I don't see this being bad. This is a perfect title, actually.
All right, good.
For it. As seeing some of the bourbon. So here's the thing with the bourbons. Most bourbons have some kind of old timey name. They're not like bourbon is not where you want to have some cool hip name. You come up with those names for beers because.
But also, this can't be a bourbon. It's not in America.
It's not a bourbon. It's a whiskey.
Yeah.
Real fast, guys. Is there going to be an E in the name whiskey? Is it going to be WHISKEY or WHISKY?
Ooh, Ben, what are your thoughts?
It depends what China does typically.
No, I have an answer for it. Well, it's a yes or a no.
Then yes.
Derek.
I have to agree. Yes, it will be at least one of those two.
There will not be an E.
All right.
It is not distilled in a country with an E in the name.
That's the justification?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's why Scotch has no E in it. Because Scotland doesn't have an E. How about that?
Ireland does.
Look at this whiskey. Notice there is no E in it. Please keep it that way.
Wow.
Yeah, just like urines.
So Japanese whiskeys, no E, eh?
Well, Japan.
Well, it has an A.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, it has two A's, but.
Good point, Ben. It has a J, too.
Yeah. And a P and an N. And that's how you spell Japan. Thank you for coming to our show. We have rebranded whiskey stores. If you would like to listen more, then tune in next Monday to us.
Wait, real fast.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, we have to recap.
Yeah, we do.
I would like
we
to
open
recap.
up a mom and pop liquor store. We have all your necessities, but then the genius move is to get the contact with a distiller, get their barrels.
Yep.
In this case, it's barrels from South Africa.
Yeah.
And a bourbon is not a bourbon because bourbon implies American. Get whiskey from that distiller, bring it over. You'd have to go through duty free. No, not duty free. You'd have to declare it technically.
Sure.
Sell it strictly from your store. Obviously, already having the Reddit accounts ready. Press a button, they all post. Oh my God, this shit amazing. You'll never find this again. Here's a link to where you can find it. And from there, profit?
Yeah, I think question mark profit. We'll be selling these things at $1,000 a bottle because people will think that they can turn it around for more.
Yeah, and collectors will want to have the exclusivity of, oh yeah, I did get a bottle of X, Y,
Eventually, we are going to switch brands to like a different bottle, and that truly will be the Mandela effect.
Exactly.
Because nobody will remember this.
Bye-bye, Pappy.
Yeah.
Hello, Mandela effect.
Exactly.
Nice. So, mom and pop liquor shops, specifically ours, I guess, will be billing you.
So before we get to the tweet corner, do you guys have any questions about liquor stores?
Oh, man.
Anything come up?
I have 1,000 questions about liquor stores, but I don't know how to categorize them into which one is best.
Did you have any workplace dramas?
Ooh, better.
I already talked about the one where the guy came in and said he had a gun, so he didn't have to have a
I meant sort of like
mask.
interpersonal.
Yeah, weird threat.
Oh, interpersonal, huh? So there's this one guy that we hired who this is up in the Midland store. One thing that our boss is notorious for is hiring kind of off the hip, which granted can result in people like me getting hired.
Yep.
Yes.
But it also can result in people that work for like 2 months and say, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
So we had this one guy when I worked up in Midland, and he's not a bad guy. He was a decent guy. But he got the job at the liquor store as like a second job because he was Consumer's Energy, a meter reader, which is an incredibly cushy job to have.
Yeah.
It's like being a mailman, but being paid like 10 times as much as a mailman.
And I don't even think you do as much work as a mailman.
No, far less strenuous. You literally just go up and read. Granted, if someone sees you read and they are a big time, get off my damn property, you might be in for a ride. Sure. Or you can be bitten by a dog, which this guy was at one point.
Cool.
But part of the perks of working up in Midland is, like, I think it was just about every night we would sample at least one beer. Like,
cool.
Nothing expensive, but like taste it, see if it's good, recommend it if we want. And it got to the point where, like, at this point, like, I'm 21. This guy is probably like 30 something, 35 maybe. Got to the point where when he was working with me, we closed at 9. It'd be like 6. And he's like, all right, what are we sampling tonight? It's like, whoa, man, I think you might have gotten to this job for the wrong reason. We're not drinking everything in the store. Yeah. We're just trying a few beers. Like, you got to calm down. Like,
we're not making our way through the whole stock. We're just having fun every now and then.
This is not a never-ending journey. This is an unexpected journey where there's a definite start and we stop when, who cares? But we're not trying everything in the store.
Yeah.
And I remember on my last day, I was just like, fuck it. I don't care. So he was like, oh, like, what are we trying? I was like, we're going to try 4 different beers.
Hell yeah.
So I went and got like 4 like high-end beers, like $12 to $13 bottles.
Damn.
And we opened them. And I mean, granted, like, not a good move. Very much a fireable offense. But like,
hey,
what are you going to do?
Fire me?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny. Yeah,
you run into that risk. Respect. All right, Tweet Corner.
Before you ever think about tweets, you must begin to wonder. Automatic rifle. Shooting out blanks. Because it's Tweet Corner time!
Oh, by the way, if you, the listener, have any questions for Evan about liquor stores, tweet us at the show.
Honestly,
tweet us.
I want to learn more from this guy.
This is just one episode, but I've got a plethora, a myriad of facts in my head that we haven't even tapped into. I learned, even if it's just things about POS. If you want to learn about POS, I can really help you.
God, it's the worst system on the planet.
It sure is.
It is. But hey, people were sold on it. Okay, so here we go. We got one from Simp Pilgrim here, a classic account. They've really blown up. So this one, and if anyone doesn't know who Simp Pilgrim is, he's the guy who made the definitive 372 porn star list.
Oh,
so yes, that's him. At SIMPPILGRIM. Thinking about how the Joker could have benefited from CBD.
Nice. Very choice.
Big fan.
Makes a good point.
It's true.
I mean,
accurate too.
You never know. Okay. So this one is from Sam Trader at SAMTRAYTER. I want to be one of the townies on a Triple D episode where I say that this diner's apple pie gets me dumb hard. And Guy Fieri has no choice but to look at the camera and say, that's out of bounds.
That's so good.
It's one of my favorite tweets I've seen in a long time.
That's very
where
good.
It's like, that's exactly how Guy Fieri would respond.
Yeah.
They have it spot on. And
that's
it's
like, hilarious.
And there's nothing worse that now that I live in New Hampshire, like New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, that's like,
oh my gosh,
stereotype up there is where all the dives are. Like, the dives that people go to, and it's like, yeah, this place is fucking sick. I love all their chowder, and they got a great lobster roll.
Yeah.
And like, you talk to the townies, and they're like, so right before they start filming, all right, so why do you love their sandwich? And they go, they're just so authentic and real, and it tastes like they've been here. But then every now and then you go someone that goes, man, this sandwich gives me a massive erection. And then Guy Fieri's got to find a way to like make that B-roll salvageable. So he goes, whoa, that's a step too far, huh? Oh man, I also, so personally, I just love diners, drive-ins, and dives. Also, a Family Feud, but only with Steve Harvey.
Yeah, big fan.
Shout out Summer of Beers. Okay, so this one, I got 2 more tweets. This one's by at Okay But Still, which is also a podcast. Shout out to that podcast. Only after you listen to this one. Thank you very much. At OKBUTSTILL. Babe, have you seen my Dunder Mifflin shirt? No, it's not in the dryer. That's my Michael Scott Paper Company shirt. In parentheses, taking the phone from her hand. she'll call you back.
That does adequately explain all of our relationships at certain points. My name has been Benjamin DeHart, your up-and-coming marketing rock star. Thanks so much for listening to Let's Bring Them In.
And as always, this has been Sir Derek, your knight of ethics. Tune in next week when we rebrand ovens. Also, drink some water and read a book, why don't you?
Respect. So this one's by at Chrome Sandwich. At CHROMESANDWICH. Want to bet I can shotgun this? Hits base of wine bottle with hammer and presses the jagged opening to my mouth.
Oh no.
Pretty good, right? So this has been Evan Klein, the Time Wizard. As Derek said, water. Make sure you're drinking that. Eat a vegetable. What else do I got? Obey the food pyramid, I suppose.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Black Lives Matter now and forever. We'll be billing you. Respect. Peace.
See you.